Right then, United 0, West Ham 2. And a lot of people seen their arse with that. Understandably so. I mean, I don't know if I'd say I've seen my arse with it. I've seen my arse with a lot of the players. And it's kicked off a massive discourse on Twitter at least. Loads of people, got to blame the manager, you got to do this, you got to do the other. It's never been my style to just sort of hammer managers, United managers at least anyway, because I don't think that. I look at this United squad and I look at that front line in particular. Look at the teams that keep constantly getting brought up, whether it's West Ham or whether it's Wolves, right? They have got better forwards. Kudus and Bowen and Cunha are better than United's forward line. Rasmus Højlund might be the worst striker I have ever seen in a Manchester United shirt. Now I know there's some people in the audience here that thinks I hate him. I don't hate him, but I don't rate him either. And I'm not going to pretend that I do rate him. And I've tried to explain what I'm seeing. Now, in the ground, you do see a lot more of the runs or lack of runs than you get to see on TV. And I tweeted during the game today, I am seeing right here, right now, Manu have more movement in the box than Højlund. And there weren't a lot of crosses that came in, admittedly. But there were crosses that came in, and he was second to them. And his only job, or what I believe is a striker's job, is to get across the front man, at the front post, right? And he's not even close to doing that. There was a chance in the first half where United got on the ball and he was walking, like, literally walking with his head down, like, sulking. And I'm thinking, I want my striker active here. I want him scanning. I want him on his toes. I want him moving around thinking, am I going to get on this ball? Am I going to impact something that's going to happen here? And he doesn't do that. And then we get on the ball goes into one of our attacking players. And they almost play the pass to make him run. He's not proactive enough to make a run to receive a pass. He makes the run. It's the one where he ends up going through 1v1. It comes to the right-hand side of the box. And I think it just ends up going for a goal kick. He's not proactive anywhere near enough. And then on the flip side of that, he's not pressing either. So, mate, you're not scoring, you're not creating, you're not winning your duels, you're not proactively running, you're not active on your toes, like scanning around, looking to try and create an opening inside the box. You're not getting it back when we don't have it. You're not a threat at set plays. The fuck do you do? Genuinely. Like, I can't explain how much better literally any other forward in the league, a senior forward, academy players still learning the trade, no, but any other senior forward in the league does better than what we are being served here from Rasmus Højlund. And I'm not putting the blame entirely on him. I said there's only Ahmad today that actually looks like a Manchester United player. Now, Bruno's been white hot for months. Shite today. Mason Mount, I thought he was okay. If you want to push the ball out, first half maybe. But everybody else, I didn't think Yoro had a good game. I don't think Amas had a good game. Mazraoui didn't have a good game. Ugarte didn't have a good game. Bayende didn't have a good game. Nobody had a good game. No one. Manu, just like every single player dropped a clanger on some degree of some level during that game. It was embarrassing. If them players have got any fucking bottle about them today, they do not cash their paycheck for this week. Because that was fucking abysmal. It was abysmal. And people are going, why have Wolves won X number of games? Or he's not won a Premier League game in 7 and this, that and the other. And I did say, didn't I, these stats are going to end up hurting Ruben Amorim. And they are. And I didn't think it'd be United fans that are using these stats against him. I expected Sky Sports and Talk Shit and all of those types to do it. But not our own fan base. If he'd have won all 7 of those Premier League games, instead of 16th, 17th, wherever we are, what would we be? 13th, 14th at best? What would have been the point of winning those games? And it would have been winning those games and potentially drop a bollock in the Europa League. Great. So we came 13th. We got knocked out against Bilbao. Now what? The league hasn't mattered since we got through to that semi-final. in the slightest. It might not have even mattered when we was in the quarterfinals, to be honest with you. They might have thrown it in a little bit earlier than that. I thought I'm not going to the fucking final because I didn't believe we were getting there, and I've got a flight at 8 a.m. the next day, so I'm watching it in town somewhere, right? That's how much I believed in our ability to get through to the fucking final this year. But maybe the club decided at some point, yeah, fuck the league off. But what is it, 6 wins in 25 or something like that? It's objectively not good enough. It's objectively not good enough. Do I blame Ruben Amorim for all of that? No. And to just see like the Wolves manager's come in and he's got more points in the same amount of time, and you know you've got Potter who's been there not as long, and he's just managed to get a win at Old Trafford there. Cool. But what the fuck was West Ham doing Thursday night while we was putting ourselves into a Europa final? You can't compare like for like because they're not like for like. And you also can't pretend that we didn't rest certain players today because we absolutely fucking did. Right? People are seeing their arse that Lenny Oro has played today and got injured today. And they're also seeing their arse that we lost today. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. He's rotated the players he thought would be able to play today and took out the ones that he didn't think he was going to be able to play today. He did what I thought was probably going to happen. That it was probably a relatively stronger team, the likes of Bruno and that would have played today. Friday night against Chelsea, I expect nobody to play. If you're going, I expect you to take your boots. There's half a chance you're fucking playing. That's the sort of rotation I expect on Friday. But today was always going to be stronger. And it's stronger today, even though it's not the strongest today, for multiple reasons. It wouldn't have been good, even though we ultimately end up losing at home. It's not good for the morale of the club to be going into a final when the last time that all the fans saw you, you got fucking tuned in by West Ham. Now, ultimately, that's happened anyway. But if you're going to phone one in, Chelsea on a Friday night away from home is more of a one to throw in. Wolves haven't had Europa League football. Potter's not had Europa League football. Now, Potter's come in and he's changed the system and he's getting a little bit of a tune out of it. But he's playing players all over the place out of position. Wan-Bissaka's playing left fucking wing back. Jared Bowen's playing like a false 9. And like I said, Bowen's better than all of our fucking forwards. He'd look great in a United shirt. Same with Kudus, you know what I mean? Same with Cunha. And then he's got midfielders that make sense. That midfield three that they've got with Souček, with Ward-Prowse, it's a midfield three that makes sense. He's got the players to play the system that he's looking to play, maybe a number 9 aside. And at Wolves, he's not had to change the system. The system was the system. He's just another manager playing that system. Amorim's not getting off scot-free here. I think he's fighting a losing battle because this record carries. And we go into next season, a lot of people have already made their mind up on him. This shit ain't good enough. And we are gambling on having a perfect summer transfer window, which I don't think we will have. But ultimately, like, him in this 6 months, whilst it still hasn't been good enough, it's multifaceted. It's got multiple people that are responsible for it. And you can't pin it all on him. Lindelof and Maguire and Shaw and that have been through, 5 managers? You'd say this 3-4-3 doesn't work, but fucking 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3 and any other fucking formation that we've played in the last decade hasn't worked either. Roll it back 4 years. The players Manchester United had to play up front: Cavani, Cristiano Ronaldo, Anthony Martial, Mason Greenwood. That was just your striking options. For wing, we did have Ahmad, but we fucked him off out on loan. We had Rashford, we had Sancho, we had Lingard, we had Elanga. What do we have right now? You have Rasmus Højlund, who's got to fucking play. Chido is a literal child. Ahmad and Garnacho. Why are we so bad? Start there, for fuck's sake. I'm not blindly supporting any manager. I've never done that. But I also think that you have to attribute blame. And even if I say, do you know what? Amorim's entirely to blame today, which I don't think he is. But let's just, devil's advocate this. Even if I said Ruben Amorim is 100% at fault, to blame today, does that mean you sack him? Because if you're going to sack him, you just restart the clock on whenever we're going to be successful again. You can't just constantly sack and sack and sack and sack and sack. There has to be a period of build. And some of you fuckers are too impatient to go through that. But that's what you need. No, and I don't like it. But it is what it is, isn't it? Give us your thoughts on that.